Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Zach Said It Again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley. We actually have with us today Summer Stone, who is the principal of the Wythe County Technology Center. And she is the lady who got me into doing these monthly spotlights. So she's here to tell us about why we are doing them and why they are important. Summer, thank you so much for being with me today.
Well, thank you, Zach. It's an honor to be here and to be in this position.
Well, I know that you're doing great things for this community. You and I know each other because when Bella was in kindergarten, I believe, you were her principal, and you and her became fast friends, and you have done so much for her and my family, and we are so grateful to you and so grateful for your friendship. And I know that you are continuing to do great things at the Wythe County Technology Center. So can you tell us a little bit about, well, you first of all, and how you got, where you came from, how you got into the teaching field, and how you wound up at the Technology Center?
Oh, wow, that's a long answer, but the best way to put it is, I've always had a passion for doing anything in education, whether teaching students, leading students. I always volunteered to help out, and that led me to go into education and later to get my master's in administration. But I worked for 5 years in Grayson County teaching elementary. Then I worked for 12 years teaching middle school. And then I went back to elementary for 4 years. And now this is my second year with high school. And everybody asks me, which grade level do you like the best? And there is not an answer for that, because each place that I was at, I absolutely loved. I loved what I did. I loved the people that I worked with. I love the kids that I worked with, and that's just the same here. I love everything about education and teaching kids and helping kids become who they want to be in life, not just who they want to be today. I want to help them become who and basically where they'll be in life.
Right. With that being your passion, you are in a very special position because you have an opportunity to work with high school students who are coming of age and getting into that place where they can decide what they want to do with their lives. And so tell us a little bit about what you do as principal of the Wythe County Technology Center, and tell us, I guess, what is CTE?
Well, CTE actually started way back in 1879 when they first pushed the drive for career and technical education. The world saw that, we need these people to be in here to know how to work the machine, to know how things run, to build things. And they saw that it wasn't just studying a book. It was so much more than that. And then time passed, and I can fast forward 100 years or so, I can go all the way to 2006 when, let me back up. In 1917, you had your first Vocational Education Act, and that's where the federal government decided to support CTE education. And then in 2006, a little less than 100 years later, that's when we had the Carl D. Perkins Act, which is a huge part of being able to fund these programs we have. We have 16 career clusters, and each of those clusters have different programs that follow that career pathway. And we have 10 of those programs here at the Tech Center. We're actually trying to bring back a couple programs we used to have, and it's all based on what our workforce is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where is the need? And I'm telling you, Zach, I can go on and on and on about this. We saw that there was a need for our factories and our manufacturers, so we started, and I'm not saying this came before me, but they started Manufacturing Excellence, which is a program that high school seniors can join. They apply for, and we take about 25 kids into the factories. We get them a few certifications, and we let them see what we have here in Wythe County. And that's very important to us, is not only do we want to educate these kids to get them a career, but we want to show them what we have locally that they could make a career at. And so that's our manufacturing. Then we saw in the workforce we had a big need in medical and healthcare, and so we started Healthcare Excellence this year, and I'm very blessed to be part of that team that came up with that. Definitely not just a Summer Stone idea. This was a whole team effort with us, Blaine County, the Chamber of Commerce, Wytheville Community College, and many others. I'm sure I'm leaving some people out. But we did Healthcare Excellence, which was for sophomores last fall. So this past fall, our sophomores signed up. We could take up to 25 kids, and we showed them in 9 Fridays about as much as we can about healthcare. They got to see the Virginia Ags Lab. They got to see the hospital, the inner workings, a dentist's office. They got to see what was offered at the college, and just got a whole perspective of everything out there that's available here in Wythe County in healthcare. And so now that we've got our manufacturing departments working, we've got a program for them, we've got a program for healthcare. Now we're working on Education Excellence, which would be targeted at anyone who is probably a freshman in the fall. They could sign up to be part of our Education Excellence. And what that program is it explores the different fields in education, not just being a teacher. They need to see how a school works, what happens. You know, you go all the way from the bus driver to the cafeteria to a paraprofessional. There's so many parts of education that are vital for our kids, and we want these kids who are thinking about being in education to see the big picture and make that decision if that's what they want for them. And if they do want that, 2 programs that we're working on bringing back is Early Childhood Education and Teachers for Tomorrow. Those are 2 programs that when students leave us, they will have a good foundation of education, and they can, of course, go on to college and get their bachelor's, or if they want to go get their master's, but it gives them that good foundation where they could come and, you know, become a paraprofessional, work in a school, do something in education while they go back to, or go to college, just to, if this is where their passion is, we want to make sure. Now, that is true in every course that we offer. If this is where the kid's passion is, then that's what we're going to foster, and we're going to help them find what makes them happy, what's going to make them successful. Because I have told my teachers at the end of the year, Wythe County Technology Center doesn't provide just a diploma. We provide a career, something that'll go much further than just a diploma. This is a lifestyle. This is, a way that they can provide for their families. They can go and have the dream vacations they want. This is something that will help them in every single day of their lives, whether it's working on their car. They could do cosmetology, be able to do the haircuts, dyeing, nails, skin. They could do machining and get an excellent job at the factories, including the new ones coming in. And welding, my goodness, welding, you can go about anywhere and get a welding job. All these factories are looking for welders, so it's very important that anyone who looks at this building, they know this building isn't just a school. This is a career changer. This is a career for these kids that when they graduate, if they don't want to go to college, they don't have to. They can still get a great job. If they want to go to college and get further education, they can, and still get a good job. So it's completely up to them. We're just providing them the life skills and the certifications to help them get to where their ultimate goal is.
And you've touched on something I wanted to ask about because I think that it's so important, one of the reasons that I agreed to do this when you approached me, was that people need to know and understand that although our community college offers some great programs, I'm a graduate of Wythe Community College, but college is not for everyone, and you provide a foundation with certifications that people who can't afford college or don't want to go to college, there is still just as much opportunity for them in the career world and the work world than if they didn't, than if they had gone to college.
You are correct. In the world we live in today, if a child wants to go to college, wonderful. If they don't want to go to college, we still have ways that, if they come through this building or through the homeschool, through just any CTE course, they can earn licenses, credentials, certifications that can get them that good paying job. So it doesn't have to be college classes. Now, I will say that some of our courses are dual enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
Precision machining is dual enrollment. Practical nursing, that's dual enrollment. And criminal justice is dual enrollment. So some of our courses, they are taking college classes, but when our practical nursing students finish up their first year, they can sit and get their CNA. And when I say simple, means they can go and take the test to get their CNA license, and they can go and get a job at Carrington, Royal Retreat Care Center, or any of the nursing homes around, and they could even possibly apply at the hospitals, just anywhere where there is a CNA opening while they're still in high school. So a lot of these things that we teach our students, they can use right now. In cosmetology, after their second year, we pay for them to take their state licensure test. There's a practical portion and a theory portion, and they can become a licensed cosmetologist right before they graduate. And if they want to go on to college, they can, and practice cosmetology while they're in college. Or if they want to go straight and work in a salon and be a cosmetologist, they can. The possibilities are wide open for these kids. We're just filling up their toolbox with everything we can to help them so that they can make those choices of how they want their life. And that's very important to me because I want these kids to have options. I don't want them to just think, you have to go to college or you have to go do this. They need options because whatever career they choose, they need to have passion for it and love it, because you're going to be doing it a long time probably.
Yeah, and that is so important, what you just said. The fact that Wythe County Technology Center lets people know, men and women alike, know that these options are available, and college is not necessary if you don't want it. If you do want it,
right.
if you do want it, we can get you some credits to get you ahead when you start college. And that's
absolutely.
And that's and this is all at no cost to the student too, I might add.
Yes, and you are correct. It is no cost to the student. Through the Perkins Act and local funds, we're able to pay for everything that the students need. Now, if they, let's say, when we go through things, they get to do tours or they get to go to a factory, there might be an occasional cost, but it is rare. We usually cover everything that they need for this. And, Zach, I'll go on about what you said. We're not just, our kids come through here. Every child has a story, and we want to make sure that they're heard and we're fostering their learning in these fields, because we have a lot of kids whose parents work in different factories and they want to repeat that. Like, they see that it has been very successful for their family, and they're like, well, my dad works at Clark or my dad works at Caperian, and they're like, that's what I want to do. So we are trying our best to outfit them with everything they need. So if that's where they want to work and that's what they want to do for their life, we want to make sure we give them the certifications and possible licenses to help them meet that goal. And that's very important. The community aspect of it is very important to us because this is where these kids grow up. This is where they live right now, and we'd like to keep them here. But we would also like them to be able to be successful in whatever it is that they desire to do.
And that's another interesting point that you hit up on. I want to come back to that in a minute, but the one thing I wanted to mention before I forget is that you provide, and all of your departments provide, hands-on learning. I mean, they can actually be doing the job in the job environment to see what it's like and to say, yes, this is what I want to do, or no, this is not for me. And I've heard, and
You're exactly right.
And
we try our very best to provide high quality work-based learning experiences. I was actually on the phone Friday with an employer working out a possible externship, which is kind of like an internship for a student in our auto class.
Mm-hmm.
And our employers out in the community are reaching out to this building asking for help, like, hey, I have a position open. Do you have any students that you would recommend for this kind of position? And we are very fortunate here because we have phenomenal teachers. And a lot of our kids, if an employer reaches out to us and says, hey, I need someone who can do this, this, and this, do you have anybody? We're very, very fortunate that we have students and teachers who have taught them how to, that we can say, yes, I have 3 students who would be great for that job. And it gives these kids an opportunity to go into the workforce straight from, school, leave early from school, and be able to go into a job, a paying job. And I was talking to someone today about that and trying to work out those details, which is what we want. We want to be able to provide these kids with well-paying jobs, with an experience, and with the opportunity to start working on their career.
And the other thing that you mentioned is that, this will be my 20th year that I've been out of high school. And all I can remember people saying is, I'm one of these that have been in Wytheville my whole life, and I have no desire to ever live anywhere else. I've had such great support in this community all my life, a great close niche of friends that, I have absolutely no reason at all to want to leave Wytheville. But all I ever heard from anybody is, I can't wait to get out of here. There's nothing here. There's no good jobs. I'm going to go to Tennessee. I'm going to go to North Carolina, and I'm going to do this and this and this. But there is so much more opportunities now, or if there always have been, they're being brought to the forefront through the work that you are doing at the Technology Center. Because as you said, we live in a great community, and we want our children to be proud of where they come from, and if possible, we want to keep them here.
Absolutely, and I'm right there with you. I'm not from Wythe County. I just moved to Wythe County about 6 years ago, but I'm from Smith, and I lived in Grayson. But I love Wythe County. I love where I live. My daughter graduated from Wythe County. My son will graduate this year from Wythe County. And it's such a great community, and there's so much possibility here that I want to make sure when the kids leave us that they know they can live here, they can have good paying jobs that would provide for them and their family. And, the possibilities are endless. They just have to look out their front door.
And what we're talking about here, talking about the kind of community that we're living in, you have employers calling and reaching out to you and saying, send your students to us. How many communities?
Yes, sir.
How many communities would actually, dial into the program. The fact that we have a community that is interested in what the kids are doing and care to make their experiences better and give them the opportunity to be better employees and more successful employees and have a more successful career is a testament to the community we live in, I think.
Absolutely. And like I said, I am very, very fortunate to have this position because, you know, the employers out there, they see the need and they know that, you know, some of the older generation is retiring and they've got spots that need to be filled. And I love that they call us because some come straight to me, some go straight to my teachers, and they tell me, and if there's a way, we work it out and we get approval and get things done because we want to make sure these kids have every opportunity we can provide.
And you want to be sure, because this is a great program. You know, there is a reason why that you approached me to do stories on each and every individual program you have, is because they are all so very important to the community and to the generations that we want to teach growing up, that they can do what they want to do and be what they want to be, and they don't have to have a $30,000 college degree in order to be whatever they want to be. And I find it very interesting that, because so many that I've always heard, so I don't want to work in a factory, I don't want to do this. But you have kids who are saying, my daddy worked in a factory and he did this and that provided wealth for my family, and I want to do that. I think that is outstanding.
I have one welding student who told me that I believe their dad and their uncle worked, I think it might be at Volvo, and they said, you know what, that's what they want to do, and I love that they want to carry on these family traditions and go for it. And I told them, I said, well, if there's anything I can do, you tell me, I will help you all that I can.
And it does seem that for the most part, and when I have talked to your other teachers, that the students that you have, for the most part, are very engaged and very interested in what they're doing, interested in learning and performing well, and interested in having careers. So you have, for the most part, very engaged and enthusiastic students, which I think is terrific too.
Absolutely. And our courses here, there is a portion that's bookwork, because then you have to learn the content before you can do the practice. But for the most part, it's hands-on. And it's not sitting behind a desk or typing at a computer. That's a large part of my job. But for theirs, they're up welding things together. They're building stuff. You know, I mean, like all the time you go around this building, I know in engineering, they've built a robot. I mean, we go around and, you know, I see all this stuff that they're doing, and it's just amazing. We had some ceiling tiles that kept getting popped up and falling over. One of our students came up with a design and used a 3D printer to hook something to the ceiling tile to keep it from falling over.
Oh,
and that's the kind of stuff that we do. It's innovative, and it's just simple. It was a simple thing, wasn't difficult. Now, of course, the precision machining teacher helped and the engineering teacher helped them, but they're solving little problems that, you know, could be, it made my life a lot easier. It made my custodian's life easier because they weren't always fixing the ceiling tile. So it's simple things like that.
Simple.
This child just took off.
Simple things that are not so simple, that actually mean, and you will remember, you know, this is the guy who took it upon himself to make this and fix this. You will remember that guy.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And that child's going to remember that experience and
Yeah.
say, oh, yeah, we had the ceiling tile, blah, 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 you know, this is what we did.
Yeah, I did this, and it made a difference.
It did. And that's a big thing. I mean, and I was very lucky. Last Friday, we went and visited all 3 high schools, and I took my team of teachers to each high school, and we told them about each program that we offer and told them just a little bit about it. And then we handed out brochures and had kids sign up if they were interested in hearing more about the program. And we had pages of sign-ups from kids interested in their program that just wanted to learn more. And that was very, very exciting because now we talked to freshmen and sophomore, that was on Friday. On February 21st, we're having an open house where kids can come in and parents can come in. It's February 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. Anybody who wants to see our programs can come and see. And then each high school will be coming and bringing their freshmen and sophomore students to tour our building and see the programs one more time before the end of this semester, and that will be February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The reason I'm saying that's so important is because this is the time of year where students start creating their schedule for the next school year, and we want them to know what options they have. And if they want to come here, you know, they can sign up and they can talk directly to us. If you're interested in nursing, then you need to talk to Miss Copley and see, you know, what that entails. If you're interested in cosmetology, talk to her. If you want to do criminal justice, or our new class that actually starts next year, the UAS 8910, which is the unmanned aircraft systems, basically drones. There's going to be a whole class following the FFA guidelines on how to fly drones, which hits every single market out there right now. They use drones to take pictures of farms, to take pictures of houses, to look at security. There's just so many uses, and we're teaching kids how to do that, how to be drone pilots.
Wow.
And so we want the kids to see what availability is out there for them before they sign up for their classes.
And one last question before we go. Would you say that since your programs are very specialized, the relationship between yourself and the teachers, the relationship between you and the students, the relationship between the teachers and the students, would you say that that is a little more close-knit, a little more specialized?
It is, because and I'm going to use cosmetology as an example, when you go into the same field that your teacher is in, you do have a closer bond. And I'm not going to say that my students that I taught, we weren't close, because we were, but we have a student, and I'm not going to say her name, who has come up here 3 times recently. She graduated, has her cosmetology license, come up here, and we have a Skills USA competition on the 8th, the 10th, and the 17th, and on the 17th it's here. She has actually come up. She went through Miss Skeen's class. She's coming up now to help Miss Skeen's current students prepare for this competition, and that is all because of the relationship she had with Miss Skeen. She trusted her, she learned from her, and so now she's paying it forward and wants to help the current generation of cosmetology students.
And every department that I've talked to have told me have had 1 or 2 special students or a whole slew of special students that they were so proud of and wanted to share their success stories. And
Absolutely.
That is a testament to what you all are doing at the Wythe County Technology Center.
We try very hard to help every child that walks through our doors and get them in the right career path that is for them.
Well, the main thing is that you care and are compassionate.
For our precision machining course, that's where students learn the fundamentals of being a machinist and the industrial maintenance portion. I mean, there's a lot to it, and don't want to make myself sound stupid by trying to tell you what it's about, because I did not take that class and I do not know everything about it. But one of the students who, or one of the professionals who came back and did our manufacturing excellence, we have a career panelist where people who are in this field come and they talk to the students that are in manufacturing excellence and answer questions. Well, one of those that came happened to be my student from when I taught way back when, and he actually became who I hired to teach precision machining, and he is a Wythe County man. I want to say boy because I taught him when he was younger. He is a Wythe County person. He's worked in Wythe County. He has worked in factories. He knows what the expectation is, and that just shows how we're feeding our next generation and keeping them here and showing them how great the county is. And we were very lucky to find him and hire him and him accept the position, because that is a growing field, growing immensely. And he is young and he has the passion for it. And the kids in his class, I think, adore him. They may tell different when we talk about it, but they really enjoy his class because he's teaching them, and if he don't know, he tells them, I don't know, let's figure this out. And they figure it out.
And, you know, he's young enough that he can relate to them, too, sounds like.
Yes, sir. And that's very rewarding in this job, because, you know, our goal is to teach kids and help kids. And when we see that little spark ignite in them, and whether it was a former student of ours or a current student, it's so rewarding for us to know that, yeah, that's where they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, this is going to be their career. February is CTE Appreciation Month. So if anyone has anyone in their life that is a CTE teacher or works in CTE in any kind of career, technical trade, you know, just let them know how much we appreciate them and what they do for the community. And, of course, my staff here, I am so appreciative of them because, as I said earlier, you know, when you leave us here at Wythe at the Wythe County Technology Center, we're not providing you with just a diploma or just a certification or just a license. We're providing you with a way of life.
Great.
And we're very excited to be able to do that.
And you get to see people that come back that have been in that life, and they come back and share it with you. And
absolutely, and it is such an honor.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I've enjoyed it very much, and wish you much continued success, and we'll keep at it.
Thank you, Zach. I really appreciate you doing this.
All right. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Bye-bye.